everyone. My name is Meg Waloschek, and I'm the Cybersecurity Strategy Director and Advancement Squad Lead at Bayer. And I'm thrilled to be here today and have this opportunity, so thank you very much. As we celebrate women in technology, I want to talk to you about a powerful concept that has shaped my personal career, which is serendipity. Serendipity is something you might not normally associate with your career, but rather maybe with just life in general. Serendipity is the occurrence of events by chance in a happy or a beneficial way. In our careers, it often manifests itself in chance meetings, unexpected opportunities, or maybe even seemingly random events that lead us down a new path. So there's different types of ways that serendipity can affect your career. And those are things like starting points, turning points, unexpected opportunities, unique opportunities, or even a career evolution point. So I'd like to give you some examples of those right out of my own career. And just the starting point even, this was something that was very chance. I was riding in a car with a friend of mine whose name was also Meg, and she was considered one of my smarter friends, and I thought, yeah, I really trust your opinion. And she was telling me she was going to go to the university and study accounting. And I thought, wow, she's, a really smart person. That sounds like a good idea. I'm going to go, and I'm even going to go to that university and study accounting. And that's what I did. The funny thing is, she didn't. So there I was studying accounting when I realized it's a little bit on the dry side for me. I'm a people person, and there weren't that many people involved in the topic. So it just happened that I went to Europe. I went on a typical American 25 days, 11 country tour, and it just really inspired me. I thought, wow, that's great. So I went back to the university and I switched to international business. And I really enjoyed it, but I was having troubles finding a starting point in the career because, I was in Wisconsin in the US in the middle of nowhere, and it was hard to convince companies how my international business major was going to help me, sell their product. So it just so happened I was writing for a marketing ethics class a paper about a brand called Thunderbird Wine. And it was the ethics of marketing wine to alcoholics. And as I was in the library studying about Thunderbird wine, I happened to find an article about Thunderbird University, which at the time was kind of groundbreaking. They were offering international master's business programs. And so I thought, wow, that sounds great. That sounds like something that could really take me somewhere. I'm going to go and try that. And I did. And that's how I ended up in international business. And while I was at the university, I went to South Carolina, the University of South Carolina, and there were recruiters that came, and one of the recruiters was from Bayer. And they were super interesting, and I found it a really interesting discussion. And I thought, I'd love to know more. I'd like to have a good chance at this. So I went, behind the place where they had given the speech, and I waited for them. And the recruiters came out, and I talked to them a little bit, and they said, funny thing, last year at this time, the person we recruited was standing at this very spot, and they recommended a really good restaurant we could go to. Could you recommend a restaurant? And I thought, oh no. I was a student, and I'd never been really to a restaurant. I mean, nothing that was nice. And I'd only heard of one restaurant in the entire city. So I recommended that one. And I thought, okay, I'll give it a shot. And hopefully it's a good restaurant, and not really dirty or something. And the next day, I was really thrilled to get an email offer to go for an interview. And well, I got the job. I was in the international marketing development program for Bayer. And it was a fantastic opportunity and time. And while I was there, I brought a laptop because I came from the US. I brought my laptop. And at Bayer, there weren't many people with computers. As a matter of fact, there was only one computer for the entire marketing department in Bayer, Germany. And so I used my laptop, and I realized, Bayer didn't have many websites, or not really any at all. So I set up the first Bayer Aspirin website, which then led to opportunities to becoming the senior brand manager for Aspirin. And I was really excited to be working on one of our biggest brands in one of our biggest countries. And that was an unexpected opportunity, and all just because I guessed at a restaurant and tried it out. And sometimes there are even unique experiences that come out of serendipity. Some things that don't even involve you directly, where you have some ideas and you're going along, and there's a serendipitous moment that happens without you even. And that happened to me as well. I was working in European marketing for our consumer health division. And I thought, well, this has been nice and I have a lot of experience. I think I'm going to try it in our animal health division because that sounds like it would be something quite interesting. And so I led myself to the animal health HR department, and I told them I was looking for a job and I was finding things and it was a good opportunity. But unfortunately, or fortunately, the head of the person for the consumer health and the head of the HR for animal health were actually married. And I didn't know that. And over dinner, my name came up. And the one for animal health said, hey, we're getting a new employee. I'm really interested. It's someone from your division. And the HR from the other division said, oh, no, that's not possible. We have other plans for her. And so it came that she came back to the office and said, Meg, while this is a great opportunity at animal health, we'd love for you to stay at consumer health. How would you like to go to the US and do US marketing? And so that's what I did. It was a great chance opportunity, and I really enjoyed it. I had subsequent roles in US marketing for brands and trade marketing and promotions, and I got a lot of experience. So how did I get to IT? Well, even that had something to do with serendipity. I was just going about my business in Germany, and I was at lunch, and I bumped into an old boss of mine who had been responsible for me back at Bayer Aspirin. And he said to me, I just switched to IT, and it's really interesting. There aren't many strategy managers around here. Would you maybe think about it? It might be something you would enjoy. And besides, you'd be going back to your roots, think about the websites. And I thought, I'd never considered it. And as a matter of fact, at the time, IT, wasn't considered like the hot spot. But I thought, sure, I'll give it a try. Why not? So I applied and I became part of the Bayer's first digital transformation agenda team. And that gave me great opportunities. I moved from there to being the head of digital innovation. I moved into IT strategy as a director. And now I'm the strategy director for cybersecurity. Just using that chance serendipity of bumping into an old boss and him suggesting this idea changed a whole career trajectory for me. And I'm very happy it did. I've really enjoyed my time. It's been very, very interesting, very exciting career. And I would love to really give you this idea that it's important to be open to new experiences and to take chances. Each serendipitous moment contributes to growth and to a career trajectory you might not have actually considered. I mean, that's how I ended up in accounting. That's how I ended up in international marketing. And that's how I ended up at Bayer and now in IT. And, sometimes it's hard to be able to embrace uncertainty. People always think, oh, I need to plan my career. I need to really think about where I'm going to be in 10 years. But that's one way to do it. But maybe while you're doing that, also be open to this idea of uncertainty and being able to trust in the journey and think about it as, this kind of common thing of think of the path being as exciting as kind of the destination. Because as we're working, every day is important to be able to go to the office or to stay at home or wherever it is you work from and look yourself in the mirror and think, wow, I really enjoy this because I'm either going to love it, leave it, or I'm going to change it. And sometimes, even though you're perfectly happy, that serendipitous moment comes along. And you have to be open for that suddenness because, as it's stated, it's not a planned thing. It's something that comes along as an opportunity. So with that, embrace the idea, embrace this idea, and be brave, have courage, and trust that things happen for a reason. Embrace serendipity.